Hi, I'm Phil Porter from Takaraka Bush Resort at Carnarvon Gorge. This is the walk down to the rock pool, which is just outside of the main gorge itself. There has been a bushfire through here recently, but this country will spring back very, very fast after the fire. In fact, fire has been used for thousands of years by the Aborigines in the area, and most of the native vegetation has actually evolved with fire, and so fire doesn't upset it at all. Whereas the weeds have never encountered fire before, and so they will be killed off, and all the seeds are killed off. So in the long run, it's not a bad thing actually. A lot of the big palm trees are already starting to spring back, even though the fire was only less than 2 weeks ago. You can see a lot of green coming out on the top of the cycad palms and the big fan palms, Carnarvon fan palms. As soon as we get a rain, it will come back very, very fast. So the rock pool has been formed where the creek has tried to cut through a fairly steep ridge called Clematis Ridge, made of relatively hard rock, and so it's constricted the creek, and so it's dug downwards. Whenever there's a flood, it gouges out. And the rock pool itself is a beautiful big deep waterhole, a very, very important waterhole too. There are several species of fish in Carnarvon Creek and several species of turtles, and it is not uncommon to see platypus swimming around in the rock pool as well.
Was the fire up in the canopy?
Looks like it has reached the canopy in some places. Yeah, it was a very intense fire. See how these are growing back already.
Mm.
You can see some of the unusual patterns on the rocks. If you look closely at these rocks, you will actually see the layers of deposition within them, very straight, parallel layers. But because there's constant floods coming down the creek and washing a lot of heavy material down, it really gouges and scores the rocks, and they end up with all sorts of unusual shapes cut into them. During a big flood, we can have up to more than 3 metres in depth of water coming through these areas, and it really comes through with quite a force.
And it's sedimentary rock?
Yes, it is. It's still all sedimentary layers.
You can see some of the sedimentary.
Yeah, you can see the layering in it in some places, but it's a little bit hard because it's been so gouged out by the floods. The flooding of Carnarvon Creek is actually quite an unusual occurrence. It's certainly not a common thing, but fantastic to see when it does happen. It sort of tends to get rid of, again, sort of get rid of weeds and wash them out and freshens things up. Did you see any turtles while you're down there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the rock pool is one of the really lovely walks that unfortunately a lot of people don't do when they come to Carnarvon Gorge, which is a real shame, because it's the one place where on a very, very short walk, only a 5-minute walk, you can see so much variety in the plant life and also the animal life as well.